Okay, how we doing there? First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. I'm the creator of Voluminous 4K screen paint using ambient light rejection technology gain times 8. So, we've been getting a lot of emails. I mean, a lot of emails from customers and companies asking about much bigger wallpaper screens. As we said before, that the company that we work with basically does not make them any bigger than 4 by 8. So we started a 2-screen kit that has been selling quite well. One of the wallpaper screens alone are around $468, and now we have we did 2 screens together for $588, and they sold like crazy. So we got to thinking maybe we should do 4. Just a company that came in and they bought 4 of the screens. They linked all 4 screens together. It looked incredible. So we are now going to do a 4-screen package. Now, in this demonstration, there is something very different about what you're looking at. Now, as you can see, you're probably seeing the tape. There's an actual screen actually taped onto the original screen, but there's something interesting about the screen that's actually taped onto the screen. So I'm not going to tell you what it is, but at the end of the video, I'll show you what it is. So the screens can be linked together to make bigger screens. The screens we had that were the two screen kits, we had a lot of people that were into gaming simulators and to doing immerse simulators and stuff like that were buying the 2-screen kits and mending them together to make a form of wraparound simulator. Now, like I said, there's actually technically 3 screens on this screen, but you'll never figure out where the third one's at. Not in a million years, you won't know where it's at. All right, so let's go out of the white matrix demonstration we have here. I have the frog tape there on purpose to show you where the screen is located. All right, so first thing we're going to do, we'll come in and we'll do a few demonstrations. Let's go with the, let me see, Q. I like that particular demonstration. We'll take these out right here. Clear. And I think we have the clear. The Q. Let me do the Q. If I can find it in my selection here. Here we go. All right. Q demonstrations right there at the top. All right. Now keep in mind, I know I'm going to get some people going to say, well, I can see the edges right there. That's not what you should be looking at. This particular piece right here is something very interesting about it. I want you to stare at it. I bet you can't find it. Something very interesting about this piece. Don't worry about this. Don't worry about the tape. There's something within that screen that's different. Now, someone was asking me, how big would 4 screens be at the size of 4 feet by, hold on, let me turn this a little bit. At the size of 4 feet high, the screen, one screen is 4 feet high. So 2 of them on top of each other, the screens will equal to be 8 feet high. Since they're 8, but 4 and 4 would be 8 feet wide, 8 feet high, and since the screens are 8 feet wide, that'd be 16 feet wide. Now, right now, everybody's attention is toward this screen right here, but there's actually 3 screens here. You think you're seeing 2. There's actually 3 here.
I'm always looking for the best way to keep my family.
This is where you should focus at, right in here. There's a screen right in there somewhere.
Is black elderberry. That's why I choose Sambucol.
Sambucol is scientifically tested to help support your immunity.
I bet you it is. Let's go another demonstration coming down. Now from time to time, you'll see the big screen right here disappear. If the screen is laying flat directly against another screen, they disappear. That's why the gaps here at the bottom are opened up so you can see where the screen is landing. But if they lay flat against the screen, they blend in. They're gone. Let's put something on with a lot of bright colors so we can see where this screen is at. Let's try, let me see, this one. See if we can figure out where the third screen. So there's actually 3 screens here. You're seeing the big screen right here, the bigger screen. You're seeing the one that's taped up. But there's actually 3 here instead of 2. Now, the conversation I had with a few people were asking me, if we link these screens together, can we see them? Can we see any lines in the screen? When you see the one screen actually joins with another, you would literally have to be standing right up on top of it to see it. But from a distance, the lines are gone. Now, the reason why you see lines when it comes to monitors, because what a lot of people don't realize, when you stick multiple monitors together, the monitors are LCDs. Number one, they have a casing around the monitor. So the lines that you're seeing all through the screen is the actual casing that holds the monitor together. Those are the little lines you're seeing. Because this is a projection screen, you won't see any lines at all. They're borderless. Everything blends together. Man, those of you who live in the warmer parts, like in Florida or in California or someplace, you know what I mean, just go over and just drive to the beach, I envy you. Right now we're in Philadelphia, and man, we are getting freezing rain. There's nothing worse than just having bone-chilling freezing rain. But I do like the snow, so it evens out. It's like a bit of a World's Waldo, isn't it? You have to figure out exactly where is the third screen. It's there. You're staring right at it. You're staring directly at it. You just don't see it. There's 3 screens actually here. All right, let's go to, we've got the beautiful blue ocean. Let's go to something, let's see, I'm going to pick up something here where we can just pick up, let's see, ooh, horsies. I hope this one actually plays well. There was something where it was a problem with the video. It was a little bit of a gritty green coming down the side, which I don't know what that was. Now, I had a few people asking me about the Sony projector that I use in my videos from time to time. They are hard to get, but I've actually saw 4 of them on eBay, I think today, going for the price range of 300, 350, and 400. They are the the VPL FH30. If you're interested in getting one of those projectors, they're on there right now. Actually, a couple of them are on there. But also to keep in mind that these are 43. If you run across a FH35 or 36, those particular projectors have something called a portrait mode, which means you can turn your projector on the side and it will give you a kind of a cell phone kind of display when your cell phone is standing upright. They also have a form of what do you call it, blending software, which allows you to be able to mend the screens together without using warp software. That's why those projectors are very interesting, because you can actually mend 2 projectors together without using mending or warp software. So it does have that capability. And also too, the FH 35 and 36 are 5200 lumens instead of 43. That's what I like about the technology of black screens. You pull contrast, you pull white levels all at the same time. So, any luck on figuring out where the third screen is at? I tell you, one thing you gotta appreciate when it comes to this form of black technology is the high white levels. That you're not getting a dirty image where the colors look unnatural. Beautiful thing about it is there is no lights out. No ambient light controlled environment. You don't have to worry about any of that. So it just proves the point that you don't have to be in the dark because you own a projector. I think that was one of when I used to go to I still go there from time to time, Best Buy or Walmart, and I go look at the TV sections, and that's the biggest argument I would get from people who actually own TVs. Well, if I get a projector, I have to be stuck in the dark. You know, I have to be sitting. No one wants to sit in the dark all day long. I'd rather just have a TV. That was one of the biggest discussions I would always have if I go to Best Buy into the TV section, just curious and looking around, and they'll go, "Oh no, I would never get a projector, never. I would always have to be in the dark. The picture's washed out, it's faded, you know." And then I would pull out my cell phone and I would show them the screen I have in my living room or the 180-inch screen I have sitting in the backyard of me watching Despicable Me 3 at 5 o'clock in the evening. And then right there and then, that's business right there. I actually get business and walking in Best Buy or Walmart in the TV section. Because I can show those customers, hey, look, you can go to my channel, you can look at live demonstrations of me actually producing an image in a fully lit environment, and the screen doesn't wash out and fade. And one of the questions that always comes to mind is, why is the screen black? Why isn't it white? Why isn't it gray? And then I show them the demonstrations of me testing gray and white screens against a black screen. The first thing that comes from them is, oh, if it's a black screen, isn't the image going to be dark? Isn't it going to be dirty? No. And also keep in mind, like I said, that's why I have so many demonstrations, because there are so many questions that people ask. Those of you who know about projectors will say, well, you're using a 4300 lumen projector. Well, that's why I did the demonstration on a 1100 lumen Sony projector. Well, maybe it's the settings in the projector that are being pushed all the way up. I did the demonstration on a 2500 lumen Casio projector, Eco Mode Level 5, at factory settings set to 0. Now that wasn't it either. You know, one of the things I like to watch when I'm on YouTube, I like to watch how the first inventors invented interesting things that we use every day today. Like when you drive your car from A and B, the person who actually went in and actually had to engineer and design that vehicle so you can have that vehicle now, what you're using. Can you imagine probably the craziness that they had to go through if they told them that they were designing a machine that you could drive around? And keep in mind, at that time, everything was all horse and buggy. Probably thought he was actually a nutcase. The fact that you can get into a plane and you could fly anywhere in the world, and it doesn't take the time of getting into a horse and buggy and basically traveling over land. Do you know how long it took to get into a horse and buggy to go from here to California? And when you got into a ship, the ships they had back then at that particular century, when they actually took a ship from one place to the next, it took years. It wasn't like taking a cruise. It was actually it wasn't a very pleasant trip. But in order for technology to advance and for it to make things easier for us, there has to be change. And of course, with change, you're going to have the naysayers. They're going to say, no, it shouldn't be. Well, if that was the case, we all be in horse and buggy. Can you imagine you getting up and going out the door to get into a horse and buggy to go to work? So I'm pretty sure when he was designing the Ford Model T that he had his fair share of criticism. Thank goodness he didn't give up, eh? All right. So we're all staring at the screen trying to figure out where the third screen is at. I'm going to show you where it's at. The screen in the center is split in half. This actually isn't one screen, it's actually two. It's split right down the middle. You can't see it, but it is. So we have the big screen here, the screen in the middle that's taped up, and then the taped up screen in the middle is cut in half. I'll show you. I'm going to come over here. And we are going to back it up just a little bit. We'll bring it in here so I can show you. I'm going to unplug my camera. We're going to get close. Now it was cut in half. It was taped back together again. Let's get all this off my... And I want you to look very careful at the screen. Do you see it? Do you see it now? All right. I'll show you. The screen is split in half. There's another screen there the whole entire time. So this screen was actually cut in half. All the way down, it was cut in half. But you wouldn't have saw it. If you were staring right at it, you wouldn't have saw it. So there were actually two screens. There were actually, in this screen, there's actually the main screen in the middle that you was looking at was cut in half. This screen right here is actually split right down the middle and taped back together again. I thought it would be fun to take the screen. So you see what we can separate here. And separate it. So there's actually 3 screens here the whole entire time, but you couldn't see it. Because this technology is designed that you can piece them together and you can make bigger screens with them. So that's why we're going to have a screen setup now package that'll come with 4 screens. This is a big enough setup that will allow you to customize your screen to 120 inch, or you can have a mass of 235.1, and this will give you the ability to piece your screens together and make larger screens or custom screens or pretty much anything else. 4 of these screens are pretty big. So keep in mind, one of these screens is 4 feet high by 8 feet wide. 2 of them together would be 16 feet across. On top of each other, they would be around 8 feet high. 8 feet by 16 feet. You can build whatever you want with it. You can curve it, flex it, whatever you want to do with it. Like I said, we had gamers that were coming in and they were actually buying the 2 sections and they were making these wraparound screens because all they had to do was just build the frame and just attach the material right there. Just Velcro it. That easy and be done with it. Because the screens are flexible. But before I can actually say, hey, you can take 4 of these screens and make a bigger screen, I had to show you that you could do it. And the only way I could show you how to do it was to basically hide the other screen so I can give you the bit of the wow factor. So while you're sitting there staring at this, you're looking at the big screen in the middle, you're thinking, okay, it's got to be taped in the middle, it's got to be a little piece, but not realizing that the entire time that the middle screen in the middle was actually cut in half. So that way you could see that. If I couldn't see that, then no, you're not going to see these screens when they're meant together. I got a piece of tape on my screen. No, let's come off. So with that being said, I don't have enough room to build a bigger screen in here because my screen, if I, I'm thinking about getting myself a BenQ short throw. I saw one that was 3,800 lumens, and it was 3,800 lumens. I got to measure this wall because now what I want to do is I want to put two screens in here, but how I have to do mine because this screen right here, unless I remove all of this at the bottom, which I don't have enough room to move all of that, I'm probably going to stack two screens side by side. I'm going to cut it right here because if I do two screens side by side, it'll be 8 feet by 8 feet. So what I have to do, cut it by, it'll be 6 feet by 8 feet, and that's how I have to design it. Because I'm going to expand my screen size in here. I'm going to make it much bigger. And some of you probably say, well, how come you haven't done it before? It's because I just didn't have time to get around to it. Right now, we are overwhelmed with orders, and I mean literally, blessing from God, we are overwhelmed with orders. And right now, if you're waiting for screen paint or projection screens, I do apologize. Like I said, we had to order containers. We had to order the wallpaper surfaces. I got 12 of them downstairs right now in the shop that I got to get cracking on. So all next week, we're just going to be pushing out orders, pushing out orders. You know, it's a blessing from God that we got a lot of orders that came in. So it's a lot of work, you know. And then I got orders still coming in today. So, you know, and then I got people asking me about the wallpaper screens. They're going to make them bigger. And right now, in order for us to make them one piece, we have to have that piece of machinery, and that piece of machinery is around $200,000. So I'm going to have to wait on that until the end of next year, and then I'll be able to lease one. For right now, I think the solution to being able to piece these screens together is absolutely fantastic, and the fact that these screens can be cut and customized the way you want them. You know, so that's pretty interesting. You can use them that way. But like I said, in order for me to, I can't just show you something and tell you about something, saying, hey, look, you can piece them together, because then you're going to have somebody come in here and say, well, if I can piece it together, I want to know if I can see lines in the screen, because that's the first thing that's going to pop into your head. Am I going to see a physical line? You know, so I have to show you that you're not going to see a line, but not only have to show you, I have to basically hide it in there so we can have a bit of a Where's Waldo kind of game going on, and you try to let your imagination try to figure out where that screen is at the whole entire time, but giving you that surprise factor that the screen was there the entire time. All I had to do was just take this centerpiece and just cut it in half and say, look, there's two screens there instead of one. So we are going to start the screen 4 package deal will be available Monday. Already started, ordered them already, ordered about 1,000. They're going to be coming in, and we're going to start from there. Let me put something on real quick, you know, because I know you probably want to see something on. But yeah, you know, just trying to bring out much bigger screens. Sometimes I like to put the more realistic kind of demonstrations in, because sometimes, yes, some of the LGs and other demonstrations are oversaturated with too much color, and sometimes I like to put in a natural color so you can see that you're still going to get an amazing picture. So when you have a projection screen, you should have the same feeling as if you have a TV. You know, you should be able to have all your lights on, picture quality should be fantastic. And it really shouldn't make a difference on what kind of projector you have. Like I said, I've done this on different forms of projectors, not just one projector over and over again. Ooh, peacock. Interesting theory. Real quick, anybody know the story behind peacocks, which is pretty funny? That peacocks are supposed to be like the most arrogant animal of the animal kingdom. Because if you watch them when they walk and they throw their feathers out, they kind of strut with a bit of pride, like they're better than everybody else. But peacocks have very, very, very ugly feet. And when they look down at their feet, their feathers actually push back in. It's a way to curb their arrogance. Right now, the price for the 4 screens, we don't have the price on that yet. We do know shipping will be free worldwide. The one of these screens go for around $468. 2 of them go for $588. We don't know what a 4 screen package is going to come in at, but we do know that we're going to make it very, very reasonable. Now we're trying to keep these under the price of the more expensive screens. Like, okay, we did a demonstration. I'll show you the demonstration in a few minutes. Now, also to keep in mind, for those you want to know, yes, the screen is ultra short though compatible. If you do own an ultra short though projector, you can use it on the screens, and they are fully weatherproof. We put in a few links. I have one where I actually have the screen outside in the rain, soaking it down with the garden hose. I have another demonstration using an ultra short though and short though projector. They are flexible, very lightweight, and pretty much you can hang these screens by using everyday duct tape, which I have done before, but it does come with a form of Scotch double-sided tape to allow you to be able to hang your screen. Like I said, they are flexible, so if you want to do a curved screen or simulators, you can use it for that also too, and they can be cut and customized. I had a customer who had an inch where he had a screen that was under his staircase, and it had a bit of a slant right there, and he was able to cut the corner of the screen to fit it right in that spot. Now the projector I'm using behind me is a bit of a 1080p projector. It is 1920 by 1200. The projector in no way is 4K. All right, now this is what I want to show you right here. We're going to go to we call a search. I'll show you this test. So it's called, we do color tests. So the bottom line is to show you that if you're really getting what you think you're getting from your projector. Some people think they're getting real true blues and colors from their projectors, and I explained to them that they're not. And this is where people tell you have to calibrate your projector. Technically, like I said, calibrating a projector came in when white screens were all the rage, because a white screen could not produce a proper color, and it had to be calibrated. So I have a sample sheet of Elite Screens Dark Star 9. I'm probably going to get an email about this. I know it's coming. But I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just doing side-by-side demonstrations. I'm not slandering the screen in any way whatsoever. Now, if you're not familiar with the Dark Star 9, the Dark Star 9 is a more advanced version of an Elite screen. Usually when we see Elite screens, we see the gray Cinema 5D, or we see Polestar, or we see the white Elite screens. But Elite screens do have flagships. All screens like DMP Supernova, they have flagships. These are screens that are designed for the certain elite that can afford these screens. Now, the Elite Dark Star 9 is a $3,000 screen, due to the fact that it's a very dark screen. Like I said, the darker the screen, the more expensive it's going to be. So we're going to pull up first the color red. Now, as you're saying, this is red on here on the black screen. You would think that a lighter screen would be able to produce a much brighter image than a black screen that comes to red, but I'll show you. All right, so first things first, let me turn this to the side because you do not need to see me. All right, I will scar you for life. If you don't believe in God, you will if you see me. All right, let's go. Let's get a nice little sample sheet here. And a bunch of you sitting on the floor. See if you can find mine. All right, here we go. Now, this right here is called a Dark Star 9. This is a very high-end screen. The gain on this screen is a 0.9 gain on the screen. Now, as I said before, this screen, if you wanted a 100-inch of one of these screens, would cost you around $3,000, maybe now $28 to $3,000 just for a 100-inch, not 120-inch, 100-inch. Keep in mind, these screens, I don't think they're ultra short though compatible due to the fact they do have a narrow viewing cone, because if you try to view the screen on an angle, it does get a bit dark. So particular screens like this have to be in line with the projector. If you ever call a company and they say, hey, the screen has to be in line with the projector, that means the projector has to be in direct line with the screen, or it becomes dark around the edges. So that's called a narrow viewing cone. That's why you see me do demonstrations and I'm moving the camera from the side to side, is to show you that the image can still pick up if you're viewing the screen on an angle. Some screens have that issue. That's why certain companies have a special screen designed for ultra short though projectors. With this technology, doesn't make a difference. All right, so let's stick this against the wall. I'm going to move this to the side real quick against our screen. You can check out King Groot. Now, I went to GameStop. I got King Groot. People have asked me, how did I get my hands on King Groot? I got King Groot at GameStop for like $200. He was way higher than that. He was like $800 when I first saw him, right? And I tried to get Rocket to go with him. I didn't want to spend. When I went online to try to find Rocket, Rocket was like something like almost $3,000. I was like, ooh, that's a statue I will not be buying, but I do want one. I really do, but to go with the set, but I can't. All right, so here we are. We have the Dark Star 9 screen with a 0.9 gain. And as you can see, the black screen is producing a much brighter red. Now, for those of you saying, well, you do have the lights on, we'll take our lights out also. So let me shut my door here so we can get it nice and dark in here. Really? Thank you. All right. And there you go. Let's give you a chance to take all this in. Now, before I started pricing, people want to know how I came up with the prices for my technology. Before you can come up with a price for a screen, there's tons and tons and tons of tests you have to do. You have to test the screen on how low of a projector you can use. If the screen can produce an image outside. Can it work with ultra short though? Can it work with short though projectors? Can it work with laser projectors? This is why I have so many projectors in my shop. And now when you start proving that you can prove the compatibility of projectors, you have to prove the gain on how much light the screen can take in. That's why some of my demonstrations, I have lights literally nailing the screen to see how much ambient light. Now, the more stressful the environment that I put the screen will have a much easier chance of surviving in an environment with less light that I have in the environment. If people are doing demonstrations where it's comfortable, like these companies will do demonstrations in ambient light controlled environments. You do know that when you watch a commercial or any kind of info commercial, whatever it may be, on these particular screens, that environment has been preset to make the screen look amazing. Now, when we started off, we were doing demonstrations on 720p projectors. The reason why is because if we can take a 720p projector and make a screen look incredible, when a company that has this kind of money has a projector that's doing what? That Sony projector they had, it was what, $50,000 for that projector, ultra short throw, that looked like a coffee table? There you go. They're using a high power projector. I guarantee you, I will give you free paint for the rest of your life if you can show me any Elite, DMP Supernova, Black Diamond, any one of those companies using a 720p projector in any of their demonstrations to show off their screens. You will not. They'll use a high powered projector. Now at that particular point, you have to start thinking, which is doing all the work? Is it the projector or the screen? That's what you got to think about. Hey, how you doing? So that's one of the things you have to think about. A lot of people don't realize that. When you watch a demonstration, there's a lot of distraction that they put in the demonstration. They'll put in pretty lights behind the back of the screen. That's distraction. They will put in, when they do their ambient light environments, there'll be ambient light in the environment, but none of the ambient light actually makes connection with the screen. It gives the appearance that it's making connection with the screen, but it's not. Unless you see physical light in contact with the screen, or unless you can see the corners and all that, that's how you know. But that's what I'm talking about. These particular screens, this is why when you get this home on your projector, keep in mind, if you go to a showroom and they're using a JVC projector at 16K, and JVC does make a 16K projector, look it up, and you go home and use your projector at 1080p, do you think you're going to get the same picture quality? You're not. So if your image comes up like this, the first thing you're going to say is, well, you might have to calibrate your projector. Now you're going to go into the painstaking nightmare of calibrating your projector. A lot of people don't know how to calibrate a projector to begin with. They don't. They just want something simple they can go home and set up. Now, here we are. We have, as you can see, on the black screen, we're producing a bright red vivid image. Now, if we're producing a bright red vivid image, what happens to this image if you're actually watching something that involves red? Let's go over to, let's put our lights on really quick. And I had somebody saying, well, you know, I'm not going to use my projection screen with the lights on. Well, that's you. You don't make up for the 100% or 99% that will be using with the lights on, because a lot of people don't have dedicated theater rooms. They have a living room. All right. When you have you have the luxury of having a dedicated theater room, you can have the lights out. But even with the lights out, you're still not getting your screen. You think you're getting it, but you're not getting it. So let's get to price point. When people are saying, well, why is your paint that price? Well, put it this way. This is a $3,000 screen you're looking at right now, right? You only have a size of 100-inch. That's it. 1/4 of our technology will work with ultra short throw. Will allow you to be able to paint anything you want. You can turn a motorized projection screen, fixed frame screen, whatever you want. You can turn into a high performance screen. And it's about $298 versus a screen that is $3,000. And keep in mind, with 1/4, you can paint a 100-inch to 120-inch. Now, if an Elite Dark Star 9 for a 100-inch costs around $28 to around $3,000, what do you think a 120-inch would cost you? Now, the DMP Supernova. A DMP Supernova blade for 180 inches would cost you $18,000. Yeah. Now, keep in mind, you can get an Elite screen, but if you get the white screen, then what's going to happen? We all know what happens to white screens. Real bad picture quality, contrast levels are extremely poor. That's what you have to settle with. Or you can get the Gray Cinema 5D, but if this screen is actually darker than a Gray Cinema 5D and it's producing this image, what do you think is going to happen to a Gray Cinema 5D? And it's lighter than this screen. This screen is actually darker than a Gray Cinema 5D. So if you want to have the best screen, the dark screen with true contrast and all that, you're going to have to give us $3,000. Now, okay, but are we getting true contrast? Well, let's check that out too. Let's go over to a star field. I try like doing star field demonstrations because they're the hardest to pull up. Let's go to a star field. See if we're getting contrast. I know I'm going to get an email over this. It's coming. Trust me. Dark gray. Shades of gray. Anytime you have a white screen, a gray screen, keep in mind, we're not talking about light screen paint. We're talking about an Elite Dark Star 9, which is far more advanced than a light gray screen paint. Because if you were to take this screen and you were to put it up against a light gray screen paint, as in bare trimmer screen or some kind of screen paint mix, that screen would blow that screen clean out of the water. You would produce contrast and deep blues and deep reds and everything. But if you take that technology and you put it against a black screen, then this is what you would get. Now, the only way you would be able to achieve a decent contrast level, you would have to be in the dark. But if any light came on in the environment, then there you go. Okie doke. Let's go from here. Let's go to this demonstration here. I like to do this one. Now, in this demonstration, we all know the background's black. See about that. Now, let's come out of here. Let's go to, take this out, and let's go to blue. Don't get me wrong, it's a beautiful screen. Their technology is good. It's just that the fact that you can't achieve um, a true contrast from the screen. You're getting gray. You're literally just getting gray. That's all you're getting. Oh man, this is giving me flashbacks. I don't know if any of you ever had. Okay, that's a long time ago. Back in the day, or even if you played it on PC, if you played Unreal Tournament, and there was no place, and if you played live in Unreal Tournament, I don't know if you guys ever remember this playing Unreal Tournament on PC, but you remember the areas where before they came up with voice chat that you actually had to basically ridicule and curse somebody out with a keyboard, and you had to find some place to hide so you could talk trash to them and then go out and do your damage. This is what this reminds me of. All right. Now, there's blue. Now, in order for you to get that deep blue, you may have to calibrate your projector, and you definitely will be sitting in the dark, and you will be using an ambient light controlled environment. Oh, I'm definitely going to get an email about this. I haven't got an email ever by Elite Screens. I got one from a few other companies, but not from Elite Screens. This is the darkest screen I have in my group. I have quite a few in my category. So you have to be able to test your screens against other high performance screens. You have to. Anytime you develop, we work with screen paint, you have to. Because you're going to have customers that are going to come and say, hey, so what's the difference between your screen and a Firehawk G4? What's the difference between your screen and a DMP Supernova? What's the difference between your screen and the Elite and an Elite screen? I can say, look, I have Elite Darkstar 9, I got the Gray Cinema 5D, I did the Polestar, I did the Firehawk G4, I've even had cross with Black Diamond. Yes, I have. I have done so many different levels of screens. You have to be able to do it. Because you're going to have those questions are going to come up. Okay, here's an interesting theory. Let's do this one. I'm going to show you something really quick. All right, so I'm going to pop on our lights real quick. Let's go over and let's grab some light gray screen paint. Now, I told you how to make your own screen paint. We used to make it back in the day. Now, if you want to pay for it, it's up to you. But you can make it yourself. I used to make it 11 years ago. It was called Digital One Crystal Screen Paint. Easy to make. Pretty much the base just has to be gray. Now, depending on how dark you want your base, it's the more black that you put into it. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this is because I'm not going to lose any money over it because it's obsolete technology and pretty much it's not really that. It's not. It was good at that particular era, but now black screens are just where it's at. So bottom line is you can use any kind of gray primer. You can use bare silver screen. And you just get, someone was asking me what kind of glitter, any kind of glitter. Even if it has to be silver, but it's the same kind of glitter that your daughter or son may use or in school. It's hobby glitter, that's all it is. You won't see it because it'll give you the illusion in your mind. You think you're seeing it, but you won't see it. And any kind of silver Metallica paint. That's it. It'll react the exact same way. If someone sits there and say that, well, no, somebody else's paint is different. No. It all reacts the same way. Because if it was something different out there, they could easily do a contrast demonstration and show that their product produces a higher black level than bare silver screen. They can't do that because it all reacts the same way. It can't produce contrast. That's all. All right, so we're going to take our mixture of light gray screen paint here. I'm going to turn it to the side. I don't want anybody trying to sue me because they saw me. Oh my God! What the freak? There is no God. I don't want to put you through that. But anyway, all right, so let's turn around and show you what we got here. So we have a light gray screen paint, as you can see. And we have the Darkstar 9. Now we know the Dark Star 9 is darker, of course, because if I take this or a piece of paper and put this on the projector, you can see it's a darker screen. Neither one of them had the ability to be able to produce contrast. And as I said before, contrast is everything, because contrast makes a difference whether your colors pop on your screen and they don't. This is what I've been trying to say, that contrast is everything. It plays a part in everything. Now, the hardest thing about a black screen, as I said before, that you have to have a screen to be able to produce white levels. Because if it doesn't produce white levels, the natural skin tones become dirty and muddy, which I've already proved that theory already, so no need to go down that road. If you're curious about seeing those links, I will post them at the bottom. You can check them out for yourself. All right, so let's take our lights out. All right, and as you can see, it reacts the same way. Let's go over back to our reds. Now, keep in mind, both of these screens will have the ability to produce higher white levels, because any light gray screen, white screen, is going to be to produce a higher white level than black. All right, that's automatically giving. That's going to happen regardless anywhere on the planet. But here's the thing: these screens can't produce contrast. A white screen will always produce a higher white level than any gray screen out there on the market, because it's white. That's what it's going to be to do. Like a black screen is going to produce better contrast. Difference is a gray screen is pretty much caught in limbo, because a gray screen can't produce contrast and it can't produce a high enough white level. So it's caught in between that area. All right, so we're going to come over here to purple. You see it? Just because you're in the dark, and keep in mind, my projector is 4,300 lumens. I have a 4,300 lumen projector. It is 1920 by 1200. It is a full 1080p projector. And at 4,300 lumens hitting this screen at around, we're probably in the room around maybe 12 feet. 12 feet back in the room. And it's not pulling it up. So for my 4,300 lumen Sony projector, it's a WXGA, and it's not pulling this up. What do you think what's going to happen with any projector under this? 4K is not going to fix it either. All right, so let's come out of here. Let's go to, we did the blue, the greens. We know contrast is not going to show up. Now, as I said before, like I said, these screens are going to produce a higher white level. But in this demonstration, what I'm going to show you is our screens can produce a high enough white level where the image does not come out dark and dirty. Because keep in mind, it has been portrayed that our black screens produce a image that is so dark and dirty that it's like looking through a pair of sunglasses. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to pull up 4K flowers. That's one of the demonstrations I like to do on 4K flowers. So let's go to 4K. Oh, on the wrong section over here. Is anybody here excited about Christmas? We all are. I hope we get, on my end, I hope we get some snow, you know. And then tomorrow morning I got to get up. I got to go grab a tree, and I had to, we got a fireplace downstairs, which I'm itching to burn. You know, I had a fireplace when I was a kid. And it's such a blessing to have a fireplace now, you know. Really excited about it. 4K flowers. Let's go to flowers. 4K space, and let's go to flowers. And it's funny, you know, when you're a kid, Christmas is so much different. But as you get older, it's just, it's there. I mean, I love Christmas anyway because it's the birth of Christ. But you know, that excitement of running down the stairs, and oh man, I'm telling you, I still remember that as a kid. You know. All right. So we're going to do 4K flowers. Now, keep in mind, the black screen has to have the ability to be able to produce a high enough white level. White levels are not going to be as high as a light gray screen because of the color tones, but the technology has the ability to do so. So you'll see that in the demonstration. So let's begin. Now, This is one of the most favorite tricks that are done with light gray screen paints. One of the things that I told you many times before that they will stick to certain colors. Bright, vivid colors, dark environments, high power projectors makes the screen look great. So when you're looking at it, you're thinking, wow, that looks amazing. It's not. What you're really doing, it's a form of smoke and mirrors if you think about it, okay? They will never do a contrast demonstration. If you do a contrast demonstration, then you will see major flaws in the screen. They can't allow you to see that. So if they do contrast demonstrations, anything involving black levels, the lights will always be out. They can't do a fully lit environment with the lights on, because you will see the different shades of gray that will pop up in the screen. You won't see true contrast. But it's very easy to make a cheap screen paint with a high power projector in a dark environment. And that's why when you watch demonstrations on these particular screen paints, that's why majority of them are done in the dark or form of ambient light controlled environment. Now, if I were to take that screen paint outside and do a demonstration or put it in a full lit environment, it wouldn't work well. It would fail miserably. Keep in mind when I showed you the colors, the different colors I was displaying, the image was faded. Oops, my fault. Trying to figure what am I going to be eating tonight. But here you are, you have a black screen that only produces 100% pure contrast, but the white level is so high up on it that the image is not dark and dirty as it was portrayed to be. A dark, dirty, muddy image. Now at one point, someone actually started a rumor, sorry about that, someone actually started a rumor that I was actually selling black house paint. So we had to do a demonstration. Our screen paint versus black house paint on a white level. Prove them wrong on that one. And it might not only be just that. I mean, think about it. I mean, you got big companies out there who basically have contracts with movie theaters for these great big huge white and silver screens. And then they have to incorporate that into black technology. I would love to see that one day. I would love to see a movie theater with a black screen. I'm pretty sure I won't see it in my time. You know the funny thing about this? I'll sit here and tell you that I won't see it in my time. And after I'm long and gone off this earth, you can go back and watch this video and say, hey, he did say he wasn't going to see it in his time. But eventually you'll see one. I won't be alive to see it. Now you see how the screen is washed out here? You don't see the detail in the flower. You know, you watch it, read a comic book, and you look at the depth that they draw with the black, the detail. You have to have detail. That's what makes the image come alive. If there's no detail there, the image becomes washed out, it becomes void. You see it now? Now, if we go to do let me see. Let's go to we already did the star field already. I want to do the black level test. All right, I think it's OLED. OLED makes that test. OLED makes a black level test. Oh, yeah. You do make a black level test. Now we have the hardest one is the 4K test. That's fireworks. That screen is jet black. And you just see these little bits of fireworks actually exploding onto the screen. So we'll do that one first. Now in this fireworks display, of course, The background is jet black. If you have true contrast in your screen, your background is supposed to be black because that's the image that's being projected off the projector. It's black. So some people feel that they can make up for that. I talked to a customer who was getting this projector, I think it was 30 something, 30,000 to 1 something contrast. So he thought he was going to be able to make up the contrast levels on a gray screen or maybe a white screen because his projector had all that contrast. I'm like, no, you're not going to see it. Now, as I said before, when it comes to a light gray screen paint, this particular demonstration, they will not do. They can't do this demonstration. Not with this kind of light in the environment. The screen's not going to pull black. It'll come up just like that. Now, as I said before, mark my words, okay? I just gave you an ingredients. If you just choose that you want to go on a low entry screen and you basically are going to get maybe 40 to 50% from your projector, then the bottom line is that, let me come at it real quick. If you're going to go down that road and you're going to get people spending money to get the best projector they can get, you know what I mean? You want the best. This is your investment. If you're going to go down that road and you're going to use a screen that looks like that, you know what I mean? A cheap screen paint, something that hasn't been tested properly, then you might as well just forget your projector. Don't even waste the time. Don't waste the money. As a matter of fact, here, I got a projector for you right here. There you go. This is a knockoff projector right here. Just buy one of these. This is all you need. Because there's no point in you going out and spending the money for a projector that has all these perks and capabilities that you will never ever see. You pretty much just gave them free money. That's what happens when you buy a crappy screen and you don't have a projector that's a screen that's supposed to do the job right. Don't even buy a BenQ, don't buy a ViewSonic, don't even bother looking at anything when it comes to a high performance projector because you're just not going to be able to use it. Because in your mind, you're thinking you're getting the best picture you possibly can and you're just not getting it. Now, you watch me in my demonstration. I did high bright colors with a light gray screen laying against it in a high performance screen. I'm not afraid to show you if there are flaws in my screen, and I will tell you from the door, hey, it's a black screen. It's never going to be to produce a white level as high as a light gray screen. But as you've seen in the demonstration, the white levels are extremely high because the image didn't come out dark and dirty. But if you look at a gray screen will never do a demonstration on black contrast. And if they do it, it's going to be in the dark where the screen's going to have a better chance of producing a better image. And even in the dark, it's still a fail. Now, if I were to turn on just one light, there you go. It's not the overhead lights, my lamp in the back. And that's what you're getting. That's why I said, what amazes me is when I go to Projector Central, when I go to ABS forums, when I go to, yes, I'm back on ABS forums. When I don't do a lot of posting there, but I just go in there from time to time. When I go to different forum sites on Facebook, amazing, absolutely breathtaking home theater setups. But the problem is, when I look at the screen, it is a light gray or silver screen. And I'm thinking, oh, wow, pretty bad. And then I show them these demonstrations, and they see where, I mean, they don't know, they see exactly where their screen is actually flawed. Or they're going, so I did hours and hours and hours of calibrating my projector just to get that perfect image, and I can just come in and go, bam, done. Let's see. Let me see. We're having fun here. All right, so those of you, I don't know why some people are still using white screens. I don't know why about that one. There's no point in going down the road and actually doing. Somebody asked me to do a demonstration next to a white screen. There's just no point. I don't know why anybody would still be using a white screen. White screens are old screens. There's just a lot of them, that's all. Keep in mind, these are old screens that have been in circulation since probably the 60s. So they're still around. People still buy them. That's why they're so cheap. You can get a white screen at 180 inches for pretty much probably around $200 and $300. It's just a cheaper screen, that's all. All right. We talk a lot, don't we? Let me show you this right here. This right here is a Seymour AV 1.2. That's one of the darker ones. But they had something called a matinee black. This right here is a matinee black. MB stands for matinee black. This is a Seymour AV sample sheet, a matinee black. Let me see if I can figure out exactly what we did with the tape. This is what I did to get that interesting letter from SL Screens. Same thing you watch me do right here. I did a side-by-side demonstration. And this is what happened. Let's see what else we got here too. Now, this right here, if I can find the darker version of it. I'm looking for the darker version. All right, let me see what we got going on here. I think this is the darker version. This right here, anyone's ever heard of a DMP supernova? I know my sample sheet's kind of dirty. This is a DMP supernova, right? Now, those of you that are familiar with the DMP supernova, they came out with an edgeless screen called the Infinity and Blade. That screen, I don't know what it costs now, but I know at that particular time they were around $5,000 just for 100-inch. If you want 180-inch of one of these screens, you better have $18,000 on you, because that's what it's going to cost you. And that's not including shipping. So you're talking about $18,000. And keep in mind that some of these projection screens out here, they do scratch each other's backs when it comes to having certain projectors showing off certain screens. And someone will tell you, well, you have to have this particular projector to be able to optimize your viewing pleasure in order to be able to order to be able to have this picture. So let's get with these. We're going to put up the DMP Supernova, and we have the matinee black. So let's turn this to the side real quick. You can check out King Groot. Believe it or not, the Gears of War guns, I happened to come into GameStop, and they had both guns on sale for $150. Whoa! Darn right I grabbed that. Yes. I missed out. Let me tell you something. When Gears of War first came out and they had the first Lancer, I had an opportunity to grab it, and I didn't. Like a dummy. Didn't grab it. And before these came out, these aren't the original Lancers, but when these came out, I had to wait a long while just to get these for Gears of War to come out with that gun again. And I just happened to walk into GameStop, and they had both of them for $150. They were having a clearance. I grabbed both of them. All right, so we have, let me see. That should be DMP Supernova, and that should be a matinee black. All right, so. I need to go back to are in the right one, that one? Yeah. This is the fireworks display. Lights on. Now I'm going to try. I'm going to try it maybe this week to whip out my trusty debit card and go to these companies and see if they have any more up-to-date advanced screens that I have not had a chance to play with. And I'm going to get them here. And I'm not going to do, see, my thing for this, doing other screen paint, like you should test them. No, I'm not interested in that. When I first started off, I wasn't testing other people's screen paints mixes. I couldn't care less about that. I wanted the big dogs. So I went after the big companies. This is why I have all these sample sheets here. I didn't care less about somebody else's screen paint mix. No, I wanted to challenge my screen against the big boys. I wanted to go against Black Diamond. I wanted to go against DMP Supernova. That's why I have all these sample sheets here. What makes their technology tick? Why their screens cost this much money? Can it be done at a better price? So I couldn't care less about somebody else's screen paint mix. My concern is to go after the bigger fish. And this is the bigger fish. You know, this shows my customers on my end who spend serious money for their home theater setups. And they want something, they don't want to spend, believe it or not, $5,000 for a screen. That's a lot of money. Think about it. That's $5,000 for a screen. Consider the fact that what you could do if you spend $5,000 for a 100-inch screen, and then you turn around and you spend the money for $298 for a black screen paint that can give you a 100-inch to 120-inch. What would you do with the extra money? I have a friend of mine, a customer of mine. We've been friends for 5 years. Good friends. We're very good friends. We call each other just about every day. I call him my brother. And he was going to go out and buy a particular screen from a particular company. Not going to say the name on this one, but the screen was going to cost him $5,000. And he just happened to see one of my videos on black screens. And he purchased my technology. And he has that screen in his home at 180 inches. And he was upset because that particular company told him that if he spent that $5,000 for that particular screen, that he couldn't view it on an angle because the screen has something called a narrow viewing cone, which means they had to be set and positioned a certain way. And he thought that was a bunch of baloney, that if I'm going to spend $5,000 for a screen, it better do my taxes. But like I said, he came across my company. He was a bit skeptical, and he bought the product, and he likes it. We've been friends ever since. Good friend of mine now. All right, so over there, right there, where I'm showing that we're not going to be able to produce those contrast levels right there. Let's come out of here. We got a beautiful star field right there. Let's go over here. This is called a black level test right here for the background. Background is supposed to come up black. Let's go back to the beginning. Let's begin. Here on the end, as I explained before, is a DMP Supernova right there. $5,000 for that screen. Now, keep in mind that with all these high professional screens on my black screen, if you were to take any one of these screens and stick it against a white screen or a light gray screen, it would blow them. It would blow the screen clean out the water, easily. because these screens are high professional screens. Even a Seymour AV 1.3, which is a high silver screen, would beat any gray screen on the market. I have to say right now, that's a very impressive screen. It's a beautiful screen. I do like Seymour AV. I know the guy Chris who works there. He's a pretty cool guy. Both brothers are very nice. Their screens are fantastic. But the Seymour AV 1.3, I say would have to be one of the best screens I've ever seen, and a high silver. And if you take that screen and you put it against any screen paint, gray screen paint mix, it'll take it apart. Any one of these screens that and that's what they do when you have the Dark Star 9, they take a Dark Star 9 and they put it against a gray screen, a light gray screen, a silver screen, and it takes it apart. Same thing when Black Diamond came out. When Black Diamond came out, anybody remember that when they first came out, they took that little piece of sample sheet and they moved it in the middle of the white screen. It produced a much better image, deeper blues, and the image showed up in a fully lit environment and on a white screen versus a white screen. But this is a different era. We have black technology now. With black technology, these screens can't stand up to a black screen. Now, they can produce very bright white levels, and they will. They will have that ability. Some of them may be a little higher than the black screen, okay? But when it comes to contrast, they can't pull it. Like I said, when people come up to me and say, well, you need to test your painting. No, man, you have to understand. Man, I've been testing my products on high performance screens way before I was ever testing my product on somebody's mix. You understand? That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Like, when I test my technology, it's on a different level. I don't find a challenge in another mix, especially when I was developing it 11 years ago. My challenge is to challenge a screen that has been out there on the market and has the backing behind it. If I can take down that giant, that means I can prove that I have something there. I'm a force to be reckoned with. But to take out something that pretty much that I can make, I don't have to buy the product. I can make it. I was doing 11 years ago making that product. So it's not a challenge to me. That's why I said when people design screen paint, you have to do more. You have to do more. Let's go here and show you this real quick. Since we got them all up here, let's line them up. I gotta go eat too. I'm gonna order me a pizza. I've got some Papa John's. Yes. Yeah, I'm gonna watch some Seinfeld, get some Papa John's pizza. Yeah. So happy about that. Okay, let me stop acting stupid. I love Papa John's pizza. So we'll go back into the red zone. We're back into the red zone. All right. Now, let me show you this, if I can pull it up. The narrow viewing cone. A lot of people have never seen the narrow viewing cone. So let me see if I can pull it up, if it'll happen. I do know that the DMP supernovas, not DMP supernovas, what screen is that? The freaking Dark Star 9 has a narrow viewing cone. So let me see if I can do it on this one. Let me see if we can do it. Hold on for a minute. Let me turn this to the side real quick. I'm going to take these off real quick. I don't know if it'll pour or not. I might have to get a different kind of screen to do it. But I do know that am I connected to anything? Oh shoot, what the freak did I just step on? No, I'm going to have to do it on a different setting. Red's not going to pull it up. Certain screens have something called a narrow viewing cone, which means the projector would have to be in line with the screen in order for it to pull up. And you see how the screen is reflecting like that? It's because it has to be in line with the projector to optimize the vision of, there you go, see? As I start to bring it down, it has to be in line. If it's not in line, what's going to happen is the images are going to have to fade. So that's what I mean by aligning your projections. You have to align it. So you have to get it to where, bring it down, has to be in line with the projector. Now see how it moves back and forth? Now the color changes. That's the problem you have with that. I'm not saying it's a problem, but it's called a narrow viewing cone, and certain screens are played with it. And usually when you have a screen with a narrow viewing cone, some of them don't work well with ultra short throw projectors. They have problems with ultra short throw projectors. All right. So before we leave out of here, let's do a little gaming. Ooh, beautiful, isn't it? This is what I look at every day when I'm gaming. I love this screen. I love it. You have no idea. Gaming on this wallpaper is freaking amazing. Oh my goodness, you have no idea. Hold on. I gotta go shopping too. I need to go into the store and do some shopping. I missed the Black Friday sale, like literally missed it. See how beautiful the screen looks in these white levels? Woo, man. I'm not a Fortnite fan. I'm just not. I mean, I collect some of this stuff. I do like Fortnite weapons and stuff, but I can't get into it. I suck at the game. Like, really, really bad suck at it. I'm not good at it. Oh, Titanfall. That's an amazing game. I missed out on the statue. I did. Let's go to... Oh, wait, what movie was that? I'm going to download that tonight. Good Boys. I'm going to check that out. I think I heard that one before. I'm going to download it tonight and watch it tonight. Yes, going to some Papa John's. Alright. I'll play a little Rush. If you want to stick around, it's up to you, but I'm just a little gaming on here. Because from time to time, people always ask me, like, I do like video gameplays, and people are saying, well, you know, you never really play any games on here. I'm going to get more games downloaded on here, but people are always saying, well, you don't really play any live games on here. We want to see actual live gameplay. I can't wait to get my hands on the PS5. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to get my hands on that game system. Yes, I'm going to do me a customized PS4 wallpaper screen, which is going to be insane. I cannot wait. Or I might do a plexiglass screen. I'm decided which one to go with. Sorry about that. Oh, got the Radiohead.
Overdrive. Select a vehicle.
I only got one vehicle.
Dynamo.
Oh yeah, we can do some damage with this baby. Wallpaper screens are amazing for gaming, man. Because this thing, you stick it to your wall, you're done.
Stand rush to earn points for your team.
Go.
And a wreck on the first try! Ah! I get better. Oh, come on, don't replay my damage. Right up from the door, right, you trash. Really? Oh. Oh, if you could only drive to work this way, it would be awesome. Woo. Oh! Sorry about that. Little gamer rage, people. Yes. Man, out of the way, people. Yes.
I repeat, enemy down.
Oh, come on, really? That's right, eat it.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh! You're gonna wreck my trailblazer. This is online. Got T-bone.
I'm coming in double time.
Come on, man. Seriously? Don't forget that nonsense. There you go. Gotcha. Gotcha. Don't forget.
We're looking good.
Oh, mother freaking chicken! My personal curse words.
Get ready.
3,
2,
1. Go.
this game so much. It's a really good game. Not bad for $8. I haven't been in a while, but yeah, I gotta get back to my Assassin's Creed. I got DLCs and I haven't finished yet. Alright, I'm done with this.
Overdrive. Select a vehicle.
Wait, did we just do it freaking Matt? I'm not going through that freaking nightmare again. What's that?
Switch is like the fastest, most destructive game of cat and mouse you've ever played. But
Oh.
we ain't in no playground.
I don't think I got a bike.
You start off on bikes.
Oh, God. I'm not good on bikes.
But fun.
I suck on bikes. I'm not that
Your
good.
objective at this point in time
Might
is
as well.
to stay alive. Because each time you wreck, you switch to the next vehicle class. See? That's why it's called Switch. Got it? You have 3 switches. And when you're out of them, well then it's your job to take out an opponent lucky enough to be clinging onto theirs. When your team's out of them, then it's game over. To really rule this mode, you need to know when to defend yourself from attack and when to hunt your enemy down with no mercy.
I can do that.
Switch. Select a vehicle. Blade.
Come on, Radiohead. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Three switches and 3 vehicles. Mode.
Oh! I was trying to flip on that one. I couldn't get that triple. Oh. Oh, man. Okay, whatever. I like the motorcycle. All right, damn it, shit. Come on! Seriously? Forgot me. Yeah, he T-boned me. Whatever got, big boy. Already out already, man. Ah. Ah, I'm done. I'm done. Really? I'll have to do this more. I'm gonna do this more often. This game is really, really fun right here. Oh, I got one left.
Targets remaining.
Yeah, that's him done. He smacked the daylights out of me. Wait, one more to go? Awesome.
Five targets remaining.
Oh, it's a big truck. A very big truck. And I'm done. What do you got? Let me on that side? Yeah, you're the one that wrecked me the first time. There you go. Payback.
Don't ever talk to me like that again.
Payback. There we go. There you go, baby.
Nice.
Targets fired.
Oh! Yeah!
Coming in hot. 3 minutes left.
All right, cool.
Team ahead.
Oh, the road rage, people, the road rage. Crush your ride.
Targets fired.
Oh, that's not pretty. Get them gladiators, get them gladiators.
You win.
Oh, that's fun. That was really fun. Man, I like that. That whole switch, I like that. I know it seems kind of crazy that I just do this real demonstration on the screens and all that stuff, and in the end, I'm gaming. I think I'm gonna start doing this more often because it gives the customer a chance to see exactly how the screens work, especially those of you that are gamers out there. I love these screens so much. I used to have a 116.9 aluminum fixed frame screen behind me, but that thing was a pain in the neck to get up the stairs. With the wallpaper screens, you can have a 100-inch screen, 106-inch screen in your gaming room. Take it out of the box, connect it to the wall, and you're done. That's it. No calibrating the projector, lights on. Never have to sit in the dark. I have to sit in the dark if I don't want to. All right, I'm gonna come out of here real quick. Boom, and we're going to go over to I can't wait to do. Someone was telling me that the new Grand Theft Auto. Oh, for those you've been asking me about doing Grand Theft Auto, yes, I will be downloading the game. I'll do it tomorrow. I used to have it. I don't have it anymore. Well, I never downloaded it for the PS4. I had it on PC. I'll download the game so you can check it out. So I'll randomly just download a bunch of games and I'll just play them so you can see them because, like I said, I had a few people. And keep in mind, I'm not good at Madden or any of the football games or sports games or whatever. I suck at them. But I'm going to download them anyway so you can see what the gameplay looks like because, you know, apparently I've been doing like a video, other people's videos on here. I've been getting, no one's been complaining, but people want to see actual gameplay. So that's why, you know, pretty much at the end of any of my videos, I'm going to do a little gameplay to just show you how it looks or what, do a clip of some movies or whatever, you know, TV shows and stuff like that. I love Far Cry. If you haven't played this one, The New Dawn, and you beat the other one, yeah, you might want to finish this one because this one actually has a pretty interesting ending. With that beautiful countryside. Holy man.
Lee, there you are. She wanted.
We already had electricity, okay? What we don't have, goddamn mess up.
I'm gonna walk around and give you a look at the area.
Dude, my guy. Baby is the cutest fucking thing imaginable.
Hey, language.
How do you call it in English? Expedition. Hey, Mara. There's a nuclear power plant not far from here. It's pretty intact. If you want my opinion, it could be worth the trip. Power plants have tons of materials we can use and repurpose. Thing is, the highwaymen have the same idea. They've been seen at the site, so if we're gonna do this, we got to be extra careful. Good thing me and La Grosse Patate are always up for a challenge. So, if you wanna go, you tell me when you're ready, and we go. It's that simple.
All right, let's do this. Yeah, chest bump. Okay, let's go over here. Where are we going? All right, so we're going to do the mission. Yeah, let's do this. Which we did, nuclear power plant? Let's do the nuclear power plant, yes. Chances are, nuclear power plants probably have some kind of jacked up animal in it. I forgot the wolves are probably in here. Mm. Mm.
We're
Looks
here.
like
Well, look what the highway left into this power plant. See my eyes. Let's find out what they're taking out of there. Okay, once you get the package, I'll tell you where to meet. All right, go get them, Tiger. Stop coming after you. Grab the package and let's get out of here.
Okay, where the freak is the package? Where's the smoke coming from? Oh, it's up there. Oh, mother freaking fried chicken. Alright, then I gotta go up there and get there and get it. Alright, they're gonna maze this thing. Let me see. Get over there somehow. Got a beacon going off.
I got it!
Mother freaking. Really? Rocket launcher. It was right there. I couldn't figure out exactly where the ladder was. It was right there in front of me the whole entire time. So now I know where it's at. I'm just going to rush it. So I got to get in there. I like these particular missions because I got to get in there. I got to get the package. Got to get out. Got to get to the extraction point. But it was right there.
Okay, once you get the package, I'll tell you where to meet.
Where's the chopper
Alright,
at? Let me more
go get
ammo.
that tiger.
I need ammo. Ammo refill. What we got? 60? Give me that. I'm just going to rush in and get it. So it's where? It's over there. Alright. Why the hell is that in there? Alright, where is the freaking... Alright, I found it. Ah, I fell off of it, but I found it. That's alright. Oh, it's up there, somewhere. Alright, whatever. Let's see if we got another way around this sucker. It's right there on the top. I gotta get to that roof. And there's another way to get around it. I'm gonna have to go through here to do it. Alright, now, it's in here and I can hear it.
You need to get the goods and get out of there.
Yeah.
The highwaymen are going to throw everything they have at you to try to stop you.
I'm trying to get there. Figure out where am I going on this. Okay, there's a ladder right here.
I'm gonna chew you the crystal! Heading up!
it on top of the roof? Where's it at on top of the roof? I'm not seeing a way up there.
Hell yes!
It's on top of the roof. Where is it on top of the roof? Do you have another ladder here? Oh, this is confusing as I don't know what. I'm looking for another ladder. There has to be a ladder to get on top of the roof because it's actually sitting, the beacon's on top of the roof. I'm just trying to get to the top of the roof on this. And there's nothing here. Up above. How are you getting up there? Yeah, I'm curious how to get up there. I'm curious where this thing is at. There's another place to go from here. Gas on the hooks there. Unless it's in the basement somewhere. Alright, let's go hop in the basement and see if it's there, because there is nothing here. I'm curious if it's down here. Down here. Found it. Oh, get the hell out of here.
Way to go, Cecil! I'm sending you the pickup location now.
Oh, please tell me.
Okay, let's meet up. There's a tower just on the other side of a tower shit. Sorry, my English sometimes I can't think. Go to the further tower.
Come on, Dan, really?
The highwaymen are going to keep sending reinforcements.
Where the frick is the beacon?
And get out of here as soon as possible.
Oh, that's not good. What the hit me? Alright, there we go. I'm at the wrong extraction point. Well, that's the wrong way. Oh, shoot. Where are you, baby? Where are you? Oh, shoot. Where's you at?
This is the car. Yes, I'm taking damage.
Where are you at, man? All right. Where the hell is he at?
Let's get the hell out of here. Come on, Cardiff.
Where the frick is the chopper? All the way over there? Seriously?
Let's go, let's go, let's go! Woo! That was like straight out of an action movie. Bullets flying, explosions,
Yeah!
and during escape by a sexy pilot. Okay, let's do that again.
Oh, that was not fun.
It's like, if you met.
All right, it's time for me to get out of here. I gotta go eat something, so I'm gonna order some pizza and watch some Seinfeld and just relax. The package for the 4 screens, we will have that available this Monday, so it'll be a 4-screen package. I don't have a price on it yet, and we'll add some extra stuff with it too, because we're definitely going to add some serious double scotch tape. If you're going to be hooking that up to a extra strength tape, if you're going to be doing 4 screens. Now keep in mind that'll be 4 screens, actually at 2 feet by 8 feet. So if you put all 4 of them together, that will give you a screen size of 8 feet by 16 feet. Pretty big screen. All right, with that being said, I'm getting out of here. I gotta go eat. Thank you all for your time. I gotta go, and God bless.